You ever walk up to your childhood home and feel like the whole world just froze? Like your lungs are still working, but your heart knows something's gone terribly wrong. That's what it felt like, stepping onto that porch and seeing my mama, Miss Loretta, lying there, blood pooling under her like a shadow that shouldn't be there. No sirens, no warning, just her, gone. Trash bag still clutched in her hand like she was just taking it out. And the officer, gun still in his hand, looking more confused than sorry. Didn't say a word, just stood there, like she was an accident he didn't know how to explain. My name's Marcus King. Some folks call me a lot of things. Veteran, ghost soldier, spook. But in my neighborhood, I was always just Loretta's the quiet one, the one who made it out. Mama used to joke that I left for war and forgot to come back. Truth is, I never stopped fighting. It just changed forms. But none of my training, none of those missions in foreign deserts, none of it prepared me to see my mother shot dead, right where she raised me. Thing is, this didn't start the day she died. It started weeks before. Police stopped her on her own lawn while she was watering her hibiscus, asked what was in her tote bag like she was smuggling contraband. She told them to call their supervisor. She wasn't angry, just firm. That's who she was. Dignity first. But they tore through her things like she didn't belong. Found nothing. Left with nothing. Not even an apology. Mama called the department, filed a complaint, even got a case number. Wrote it down, just like she wrote grocery lists and bills, neat, steady. But when she called back days later, that case didn't exist. No record on file, just like that. I was overseas when it all happened, still wearing sand in my boots, still carrying a sidearm I couldn't talk about. They pulled me out of an op with no explanation. That's rare, real rare. No debrief, no paperwork, just a whisper. Go home. When I landed, I didn't even stop at base. Rented a car, drove straight to her street. Parked a block away like I was about to raid a Target. That instinct, it kicks in when something's off. And something was definitely off. The whole block felt still. Too still. Her porch was taped up. Blood was still wet in the cracks of the brick. And I just stood there, looking down at the strongest woman I ever knew, taken out like a suspect, not a citizen. The story they told? A suspect had run into her house, young, black, in a hoodie. My mama was 71, barefoot, in a cardigan, holding a damn trash bag. But the officer said she fit the description. You believe that? I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I picked up her hand, cold as stone, and made a call. Not to the precinct, to a line that doesn't exist to most folks. Special protocol. I said 5 words. Black flag. Civilian casualty. Mother. That's all it took. 18 minutes later, they came. Not cops, not EMTs, a federal response unit. Silent. They lifted her body like a fallen comrade, wrapped her with care, didn't ask questions. Because when I called, I didn't call as a son. I called as someone the government trained to end wars before they began. You see, I wasn't just her son. I was their ghost. 23 covert missions, no public record, no medals on display. I've seen hell, but nothing, nothing compared to seeing her die in the country she loved, in front of the home she built. They tried to shut me up, offered a settlement, money, a memorial, even a scripted statement for the press. We regret the loss. That's what they called it, a loss. Like she'd misplaced her life somewhere. I said no, tore the papers in half and walked out, because my mother wasn't a footnote. I started digging. Surveillance footage, deleted files, hidden complaints. Turns out that officer, Daniels, had a history. 7 use-of-force incidents, 3 against unarmed black folks. All swept under the rug. And guess what? His daddy's a judge. Yeah, that part always shows up, doesn't it? Then I found the real bombshell, a file called C8S Civic Awareness Tagging System. Mama was in it, yellow level. You know what for? Asking, "Why are you stopping me?" That's all it took for them to flag her as potentially defiant. That's why her complaints disappeared. She was already marked. And then came the twist I didn't expect. A little girl down the street, Jada, had been watching from her window. She filmed it. Everything. On a silver camcorder her uncle gave her for her birthday. 17 seconds. My mom stepping out with the trash. A shout. A shot. She fell. No warning, no resistance. Just gone. We aired the footage on a small local station. No narration, no edits, just truth. It spread like wildfire. Churches printed stills. Kids wore shirts with her last photo. And one line from me, it hit harder than anything I'd ever said. My mother didn't die, so someone could escape through paperwork. That line showed up on protest signs in cities I've never been to. It got read at vigils, quoted in classrooms. Even other veterans reached out, said they felt the same. That they came home from war just to watch people like their mothers die in silence. They wanted me to speak on TV. I didn't. I didn't need to. The footage, the files, they spoke loud enough. All I said was this: she never asked for revenge. She just wanted to be seen. And maybe that's the most dangerous thing you can be in America, an old black woman who won't bow her head. So here I am, not in uniform, not armed, but still fighting. Not for justice. Justice would have saved her. I'm fighting for truth, for the silence to break. And now I want to ask you, have you ever watched someone you love get ignored, erased, mistreated, just because they weren't who the system wanted them to be? Because of their color, their age, their accent, their pride? Tell me. Tell all of us. Drop it in the comments. What does justice mean to you? And how many stories like Loretta's go unseen every day? Because I can't bring her back. But maybe, just maybe, her voice can still echo through mine, and through yours. You ever walk up to your childhood home and feel like the whole world just froze? Like your lungs are still working, but your heart knows something's gone terribly wrong. That's what it felt like, stepping onto that porch and seeing my mama, Miss Loretta, lying there, blood pooling under her like a shadow that shouldn't be there. No sirens, no warning, just her, gone. Trash bag still clutched in her hand like she was just taking it out. And the officer, gun still in his hand, looking more confused than sorry. Didn't say a word, just stood there, like she was an accident he didn't know how to explain. My name's Marcus King. Some folks call me a lot of things. Veteran, ghost soldier, spook. But in my neighborhood, I was always just Loretta's the quiet one, the one who made it out. Mama used to joke that I left for war and forgot to come back. Truth is, I never stopped fighting. It just changed forms.